Hello, fellow map makers. Good evening and welcome to another live map making session. Hope you're all doing fine. I'm Ralf Schermann of Fantasy Software, and I'm here tonight to show you the latest annual issue and do some stuff with it and see where we can go from the existing maps. Thank you, Sue. Sound seems to be good. Nice to hear. So nothing is in the way of getting started here. I'm looking at the Cartographers annual issue from May, which came out on Monday. And this month it is a map pack, not a style as such or a symbol pack. It's a map pack, which means that it's a set of pre-drawn maps that you can use out of the box, also modify, of course, and in that way it's a little less to show directly here on screen, because you can all look at the maps as if you have them. And just for me, just flipping through the map files is not very interesting. But of course, as with everything in Campaign Cartographer, you can modify them and use them as examples for your own work, build on them. And that's a bit what I want to do tonight, and show you how to expand the existing map and also how to create a template to start your own new maps in the similar style from. Alright, if you've got any questions during the session, as always, please do put them in the chat, and we've got lots of knowledgeable people around here who will be able to answer your questions, and I'll be happy to show anything that I can on screen and also comment on anything that I see and Sue forwards to me. And so don't hold back with your questions. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Let's get to it. First off, I'm looking at the ground level map from the annual issue. Well, let's actually just remove our starting text first, just to show you a quick erase operation and get rid of this little bit. Refresh. There we are. And the annual issue is basically a block of buildings, all in one big map, but all spread out over 4 different levels, from the cellars via the ground level and upper stories to the roof. Floor plans for each, and they are all connected together, so you can switch from one map to the next and use them as you need them. So, for example, if I click on the cellars here in the map links, the map will... yes, of course. I've saved the map to a different location to work on it, and so obviously the links don't work because they depend on the maps to be in the same location, saved them. So to show you the map, I need to open the ones that were installed with the annual issue, and find that here in my file list. So I'll just start with opening that, and now my links should also work properly. Here we go to the cellars. There we are, different connections, sewers, and the cellars below the buildings, tunnels connecting them. This is the link back to the ground level. And here's the cat. Hi, Asa. Say hello to everybody. There we are. And then the final one is the roof level, showing the roofs of the buildings. Okay, so let's get back, and now I've opened too many maps, and the last one, the one I want to use, has dropped off the file list, so I'm just gonna go to my videos folder again and load up the map from there. Here we are. Alright, so what I would want to do with this map. I'm quite happy with the buildings. I can use them. I can zoom into individual ones, just export certain sections and so on. But I perhaps want to expand my buildings here, add a few of my own, but use the same settings and keep the rest of the map around. How do I do that? I don't really have space here in the drawing to add another building. And I don't have the backgrounds here, so I do need to do something about that. And I'm deciding I want to expand my map a little bit to the right, mainly because I have space here on my screen. And for that I do need to move the map links insert. And for that I'm gonna go to move command, select everything here, press D for do it. Gonna grab a point here on the upper left corner and move the thing to here. And you can see, though we didn't see the map links, they were moved together with the text and everything. Alright, so next up I want to expand my map border and my drawing area, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the File menu, go to Resize Drawing Area, and here you can see the current size is 200 feet by 200 feet, and I just want to add a little bit, so let's go to 250 by 200 feet, finish, and there we see the background and the map border has been expanded. What hasn't been expanded is the map grid. We'll need to do that ourselves, or redo the map grid later basically. Or actually, we could actually do that right now. Let's just use extract properties to grab all the properties of the building, of the grid, but I didn't grab the grid here. Click something below that. I'm gonna unlock the layer, the groups, because the grid will be grouped, and see whether we can grab it. If we zoom in a little bit closer. Keep. No, I know what's happening. The hex and square layer is actually frozen. So I'm going to the layer window up here. Layer dialog. Check the hex and square layer. It has a little F here in the third box, so that means it's frozen. I'm gonna uncheck that, and now I can extract the properties, and I'm on the grid sheet and the hex square grid. I'm gonna lock the grid again and delete the existing one. Oh, there we see I grabbed the pavement together with the grid, so I'm gonna hold down Control and select the edge of the pavement there. So I only have the grid. You can see that I have one object selected, that is the group that makes up the grid. Press D for do it, and there my grid is gone. And now I'm just gonna add a new one, hex or square overlay. I do want a 5-foot grid, I think, was it what we had. No hex grid, but a square grid. We want no labels. And there we are. And there's our grid back. Yep, looking good. And from there I can go on. The terrain here in the background has been stretched a bit. The brown background together with the when I increase the map size, but this is actually fine for now. I can change that later or use this as the background for the new buildings I'll be drawing. So I'm currently fine with that. Alright, so let's get going and add a building. So I want to start out by adding a building up here in the top right corner. And first I need to decide what kind of floor and walls I want to give it. I want to draw the basic shape of the building first, and from there then add the interior walls and individual furniture pieces and so on. Alright, so I'm thinking I do want to do a brick building, and with a wooden floor here, like this section up here. So I'm going to check out what the properties of this are. And the easiest there to start is by going in and hiding everything but the floors sheet to start. Here we go. Let's show the other floors. There we are. And have a look at this entity here with the list command. Info list is always, if you don't want to change the current properties, list is your best option to check the properties of an existing entity. And see it's on the floors raised sheet, and it has the fill style wood floor oak horizontal. So we're going to make this our background. And now I do want to check the walls. I'm going to hide the floors again so I can just see the walls. And going to use list on the wall here. And this brick red symbol set 4. And it's on the walls sheet. So, okay, we could just draw these, use the extract properties. For example, I actually want to probably put this on the normal floors sheet, not on the raised one, but doesn't really matter that much. So I could just use extract properties on the background and start drawing a rectangle or polygon to define my house, and then add the walls. But I do kind of want to set up a drawing tool for this kind of building, so I can use it here more easily and also draw both floor and walls at the same time. Yes, I see the discussion in the chat right now about the stretched background. Brown background there. Yes, that would have been on a layer that was affected by the resize operation. Right. Okay, so I want to set up a room drawing tool. If I right click this, you can see we do have several buildings here, and let's have a look for the rooms. Here we are, default stone, default wood, or perhaps this is already a matching style for our brick here. See, it's the wood floor pine, but the one was oak we were using, seeing there in the existing building, and I want to use that. I do not want to change this drawing tool, but because that will affect all future default rooms I'm drawing. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to do a copy of this. I do a copy of the drawing tool by just clicking new and adding a new name. So I'm going to room wood floor, or let's actually make it that even clearer, oak floor, brick wall. So we do know from the description already what we are creating here, and then I'm going to go in and change the pine floor to the oak floor. We can want to change the color of this, though this will not directly appear in the drawn object because it's a fill style and you won't see the color of the object, but it might be useful in the future to distinguish it at some point. So I'm setting it to a roughly matching color. Okay, and then for the outline I do want the brick wall, And I think I do for the outer wall. I should probably check, but I think the walls in here are 1 foot thick. So I'm gonna set this to 1, the wall width, and leave the other stuff. So you can see we have a little wider wall. Alright, so let's go and draw our general building shape. But I do want to show all the other sheets again first. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, I have some kind of insect, big one, flying around here. Sorry if I'm distracted a bit. And now I do want to use the grid to do this, and then draw an L-shaped building. Do a refresh, and there you can see we do have our general shape of the building. Okay, so that's neat. Now let's put in a few interior walls, and for that I'm going to use the wall tools. I've got stone walls, but I don't have a brick wall here ready to go, so let's create one. Wall brick. We'll just set the fill style to our brick texture all the way up here, brick red. And to be able to actually set different wall width, I'm going to set it to current width, so I can always will use the currently set one. So the only downside is it does appear just a line now here on the preview, but we'll save it, and then I go in here in the wall in the line width 0.1.5, and now I can add in my interior walls here. See, like that, quick and easy. Let's just put in a few more, put the few separations here. There, that should be fine. But what we need now is some gaps in the walls, and that's handy that the door symbols in Campaign Cartographer, and specifically here in symbol set 4, are set up to break gaps into the walls. So I'm just going to go in, zoom in a bit, take a door as the entrance here, and I can see the default size of the door is exactly 5 foot, which is a bit wide for a door in our style here. As you can see, Jim has made the doors smaller, which makes sense. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put in, let's see, this is 0.8 size, looks pretty good, and then put the door here on the section, and there we do have it on the map. As you can see here, mostly for the interior, Jim has just used gaps in the walls, which I think I'll do as well here. I could either, it's probably easiest to just put in the doors and then delete them again. I see that this style doesn't have a breaking symbol. The Dungeon Designer style does have a specific symbol for just breaking gaps into the walls, but we can just use the door for this as well. So we're going to put a door in here, one in here, one in here, and one in here. As you can see, that's broken gaps into the walls. And then I'm gonna go in and erase the door symbols, but I do not want to erase the grid. There we are, and now we do have a very similar setup to how Jim has set up his building, just with the different fill styles here. And what I now want to do is I want to add a stairway, so I can connect this to, or a couple stairways, so I can connect this to both the cellars and to the upper stories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the up and down symbol catalog, and I'm going to use a symbol for upstairs here. Use this, I'll set this back to normal size. I'm going to put this in here. Let's do it this way, and a stone stairway down here in this location to go down into the cellar. And as you can see, the shadows is off on the symbols. That's because I haven't taken care on on which sheet I put them exactly. Let's have a quick look. And first I wanted to freeze the hex layer again, so I don't always accidentally select the hex grid, well, the square grid. And now I'm going to take a quick look at the stair symbol here, and as you can see, as I thought, it's on the symbols flat sheet. So what I'm going to do is going to move my two stairways to the symbols flat sheet. There we are. All right. And I could also put a wall around the stairs, or it could of course also just be open ones, but I'm gonna keep Jim's style, so I'm gonna go in and grab the, there's my red brick. Didn't see that in my previous one. Must have skipped that. Okay, that's fine. We can just use the old ones as well. There we go. And here we'll have just a little nook down there. Might be a little hiding place or something. We could actually, let's put in a little extra wall and let's make this a little secret space there in the corner of the building underneath the stairs. Alright, so there we are, we've got the stairs. We could now of course go in and fill more stuff with furniture and so on, but I'm not gonna bother about that, at least yet. And I do want to use this to connect that to the cellars level, or this is the cellar stairway. So let's see how we can get the matching floor on our cellars level. So first up, I do need to open my cellars map and save this in, because I've renamed this, I've been messing up the links, obviously, as I realized before. So what we're gonna do, I'm actually first gonna save this map in the same name as we had in the annual, so that will, if I copy the other maps over, preserve the links. So the name was CA197 city block ground CW, I think. Let's have a quick look. Let's go to the cellars one here and have a quick look. City, yeah, block ground. That looks correct. And now I'm going to save this in my video folder. Well, what I actually do is I'm going to use the Windows Explorer to copy them over. That way I can copy them over directly. So let's have a look. Let's do this outside of the video screen here for a moment. Just a sec. CD block. Cellars, roofs, and upper story. In here. All right. So let's have a look. If I open this map again, I should now be able to click on the cellars link and open the one in the video folder. Yes, all good. But we also obviously need to do a little rearrangement here that we did in the other map. So I'm gonna move the link window, and then I need also to resize the drawing area. There we are. Then I need to reset the grid. Draw X or square overlay, square grid, apply. There we are. And now we are in the same size here, and I just need to copy over my floor plan, or my stairs at least. So how are we going to do that? I'm going to go over to the ground level again, save this map. And now I'll just copy over the stuff I need for now. So I'm via the clipboard. So I'm going to do Control C or just copy here from the edit menu. Gonna grab the wall and the floor, as well as this little floor and the stairs, but not this one here. Press D for do it. Select a reference point. I could just use the 0, 0 on both. That would be fine. I can just also, actually this is better because I'm not entirely sure that the cellar has the same exact shape as the upper building, so using the corner as a reference point is not a sure thing. So I'm just gonna select the 0, 0 origin. Now I'm gonna go over to the cellars level again, use Control V and type in 0, 0 as the insertion point, and there's my lower floor. Yeah, as you can see, the cellar below that building is actually smaller than this one. And I might want to do something like that here as well. So we also don't have the door, obviously, here in the cellar walls. Also, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna mess with this a little bit, and first off I'm just gonna go into the walls, in the layers, freeze everything but the walls. Now I'm gonna edit the walls and make it close again. That way I've removed the door section opening here. Then I'm gonna change the fill style. See, I edited the wall as the prior thing, and using prior selection method selects that. and press D for do it, and then I'm gonna use the F2, the same wall fill as this here. There we are. That didn't quite work because the F2 selection of the fill style doesn't care about frozen layers, so it did pick up the fill style of the floor instead of the one of the wall. So let's have a quick look here at the walls. They use the cobalt stark fill style, so I'm going to use change fill style, select the wall, do it, and have a look for the cobbles, dirt. Oh, we've got a lot of other cobble fills in there. There we go. Here we are. And next up, I'm gonna use the, see whether this is on the background's floor layer. Yeah, background floor 1. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change fill style this here, do it, and now I can use F2 because it will pick up the floor texture. There we are. And now we have the same fill style setup as the other cellars here, but I do want to change the shape a little bit. So what I could do is I could just move nodes around. I could also use a room tool to edit the existing one. Let's have a look here. I think we do have a, let's have a quick look of the default room already works for this. E for edit. Yeah, so for the floor at least it doesn't use the actually yeah, probably because I've not thought all the other layers again. Let's have another go. Let's try again. I want to get rid of this right section here. No, that's not. I think the problem is also that the wall here in the default room is not as wide. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna call this cellar, or let's call it room city block cellar. And the walls are in the outline, and make this 1. Now it should be the same as the existing one here. And let's see whether we can edit it now. No, it doesn't want to use the wall there, probably because I've done the connection here again, and there's some extra nodes in the wall here, and the wall and the room are not exactly the same. So we'll not bother about that. We're just gonna delete this node and move this node up to here. It's gonna be quicker now. And there we've got our shape for the existing wall here, for the existing cellar room, and I do want to create a connection to some other areas here. We do have these connecting tunnels in the existing map that could be smuggler tunnels or something, and I'm just going to use the same setup here. I'm going to use the room we've just created, and I'm gonna connect this like this. Oops, too far. Here we are. And okay, well, Jim did set up these a little bit differently. Oh, though actually I noticed that the fill style of the wall is different from the other tool I've used. So let's have another look here. Which one did I use? I used the default one, but we'll also need to change the outline fill style because it's natural stone and not the cobble one. It's been used here, so no wonder it didn't pick up the original room there. So let's have another go. Here we are. There. Point here and another point here. And that's more like it. Go and not connect this room here. Normally we can leave this as Jim has done here on his layouts, because for him in the description you'll find that he suggests the connections there, and that there might be secret doors, but perhaps you don't want smuggler tunnels below your town. But this way they are set up here. Same way. What we can also do, we can extend the sewer here a little bit. So let's do a stretch, edit, reshape, stretch, grab the end of this here, just connect these and move these beyond here. Okay, there's a little more stuff. There we are. And now we do have the... Oh, you can see that he's set up the floor here on a higher layer, so it does cover the sewer stuff. So we would need to do this with this floor as well. Let's have a quick look. This is on floor raised 1. This is probably on floors, exactly. So I'm gonna move this to a higher sheet, but not the layer walls. Do it and put it on floors raised. Okay. Didn't quite work yet. Where's the sewers on? So you can see I'm not 100% familiar with all the details here. Sheet water, floors 3, and sheet walls obviously. Let's have a look. Okay, so what we can do is let's see whether we have this all. We would need to create a whole new set there. Or we can put a break in there. Alright. It would be a little bit more work to break up the water here and everything. I could put these on a second set of walls. I think that's gonna be best if we just do that. Actually on a... Just let me think here at a moment how to best set this up. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a new floors. Add floors raised 2. 2. First up, just to make sure I've got the same sheet effects, I'm gonna copy these ones over, paste them in, and then move this down so it's above the water sheets. And now I'm going to move this freeze the wall sheet. Over to the new floors raised sheet. Now this should be above the water there, exactly. And then I'm gonna put gaps into the walls here to be quick about it, so I don't need to set up another wall sheet. But I did not want to put the break in the floors, so I need to freeze everything with the walls layer, so I just grab the walls in here, and that's fine. Now if we clearly show the sewer here going below the corridor. Alright, that's okay, and now I can go back to the ground floor and could now set up the upper layer of for the upper floor for that building. Do want to do that first, but it's going to be basically the same operations again as I did on the cellar. And I also wanted to show you how to set up a template from this, and I think I'm going to do this first. Alright, yes, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go back to my unmodified. No, I think that's not necessary. We're going to work from this, and I'm just going to save this as a template file first, or a new file for the template first. So I'm going to call this template ground, and there I'm gonna basically first erase everything that I don't need in the template. I'm going to keep the links for the moment here, or actually not necessarily the links, but the setup of where the links can be put. Otherwise, I'm just going to erase everything here on the map, as well as I could just rename this here to title and keep the ground level in there. There we go. So it's generic. I do want to delete the X and square grid, and I want to resize my map again to our default size. File, resize drawing area, 200. There we go. And I'm gonna keep all the settings for the drawing style and everything, because this is gonna be symbol set 4 anyway. And if you load up that template, it will load up the first catalog for that, and will have all the settings, the map drawing tools for the settings. So there's no need to change that. But I do want to have a look at the symbols. What I like to do is to remove everything I don't normally need, or will add later from the template anyway. It just makes it a little bit smaller and neater. So what I'm going to grab is everything but the first few symbols, which have the compass rose and scale bars and so on. These we keep in the templates, and then I'm just going to select all the symbols and delete them. Here we are. And now can go on in and save this as a template. We're gonna save as. For this, I'm gonna select the file format campaign cutoff for 3 FCT template, and I'm gonna call this 7 template ground 200 by 200, so I know the size of this template. Because I don't want to create a template wizard at this time, I'm creating a fixed template that makes some things easier than creating a whole template wizard, because I then need extra files. So I'm just going to save this. Could save this just here, but where I actually want to save this is in my campaign choreographer program data folder, directly in the templates subfolder. Here I'm on program data, C33 plus, templates, and then I go to dungeons, and you see we are in the, here if I created a wizard, I would save it down here, along with all the annual styles, but I do want to create a fixed template, and for that I'm gonna put this in the folder above, and that's the name already have created for that. Save this. Okay, so much for that. If what you should keep in mind, and if you take a look at the current file name, we are still in the FCW file in the drawing. If you save a drawing as a template or a symbol catalog, it will always be a template or catalog. Will be a copy that you're saving by default, and the current drawing will be the original one. Keep that in mind. That can sometimes be a bit confusing. So, because if you then continue working on this, you're not actually working on the template that you saved, but on the original drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the same thing with the cellars. So I'm going to save this as the template cellar for now. This is just, I could skip this step, but I'm just doing to be sure that I don't overwrite here my work I've already done. And I'm going to erase everything here. Oops. I should thaw stuff first before I want to try to erase it. There we go. And here we're gonna edit title cellars. That way it's easy to replace the title part at a later time. There's a bit of text I forgot to delete. File, resize drawing area to the 200 by 200. Yeah, and now I'm gonna go in and also save this as a template. Again, program data, C33 plus, templates, dungeons. And where's my other one here? And I'm just going to replace ground with cellars in the name. So far so good. Now I can create a new map and go to dungeons, and then I need to pick the predefined template here. Click next. Then campaign choreographer will load a preview of all the templates in that folder. And if we scroll down, there we are, our two new templates. If I grab the ground one, what you can't do in this kind of template is you can't set the size at the time you create the new map, or nor can you choose the background, but we don't need this here. That's at that point. We just need to save this again, and I'm gonna go to my videos. Where are we? Here we are, city block, and I'm gonna call this my block ground. And then I can start working on this normally, and if I want to create a cellar level for that same kind of, for the same map, I'm gonna go to the same template again, or the cellars template this time to be precise, and gonna save this also as my block cellar. So the only problem now is the links won't work. If I click on the ground level here, what happens is it does load up my original map, because the links still point to the original map I created these templates from. But to change that, we do need to edit the links, because there's no way to tell Campographer here in these templates to where to link to. For that to use, you'd have to go to the map wizard, but it's easy to change. If we just need to show our hyperlinks, and if I zoom in here, you'll see the links here pointing to the various maps, and we just can edit this like text. So if I click on this here, cellar, you can see it's load map command, and the $sign means look for this file in the same folder as the current map. So if you keep the maps together, they will always work together. And so I'm just gonna call this my block cellar. And if I now click on this, or I should save it first, cellars, it will load up the cellars one. And here I'm gonna edit this link. So this is gonna be my block ground link. And you just need to do this for all the different links. And then your links will work in your new set of maps. And this way you can easily create your own whole set of maps if you want to start from scratch. I've got a few minutes left in our map making work, so let's have a quick look and go back to the stuff we were working on. We were here on the ground level block with our extended section here. Yeah, I can just quickly go through the process of creating the updated version of the upper stories. So I'm going to click on upper stories here. And again, I'm going to move this section here over to the other side. There we are. Oop, I missed a few things. Yeah, I didn't extend my selection window far enough. There we are, that's better. Then I'm gonna, this time, oh yeah, I want to resize my drawing area, exactly 250 by 200. There we are. Then I'm gonna erase my grid. And re-edit so it's covering the whole map here. There we are. And now we would go in and go back to the ground level again. Grab the stuff we need. Copy, no, not that copy command, but the Control-C copy command. Okay, also the wall and the stairs. Oh, haha, wrong ones. Deselect them again. What we want is this stair instead. Do it. Clipboard origin 0, 0. And go up to our upper stories again. Insert at 0, 0. And there's my upper story floor. Again, if I decide the upper story is perhaps smaller, this is just a lower area rooftop, then I can change the layout here. I can again erase the door and close the gap in the wall, edit my fill styles, and continue working and adding more buildings this way. Alright, And I could go in and add a few more symbols here for the last 5 minutes or so, but I don't think this will add much to this video, just add some superfluous stuff at the end. And therefore I'd say I'll call it a night, an evening for today, and leave you with that. If you want to try adding your own buildings, working with style or with this map pack, the style is simple set 4. You do need the simple set 4 Dungeons of Slay style to work with this. And otherwise the techniques are obviously the same if you just use Dungeon Designer 3 or anything in the base program. But for this specific set you do need simple set 4. Alright, I hope you had a good time and learned a little bit about copying from sets to sets and editing hyperlinks and so on. And looking forward to see what you come up with your maps. I'm going to be looking at the maps of the month shortly again, putting together the monthly collection for April, and I'm excited to see what all the community has come up with again. One more thing, I'll not be around for the next 2 Thursdays, basically. I won't be, next Thursday is a holiday here in Germany, and I'm traveling the week after, so there's not going to be a live mapping video from me. Remy is will be doing one, I think, and but I'm not quite sure which one yet, next week or the week after. And after that, I'll be back. Alright, have a good time, and bye-bye for now.